afternoon, and I simply want to say about this award. I accept it on behalf of the entire CCWA family, which is my incredible colleagues, the CCWA team, our CCWA board, many of whom are present here today, but also, very importantly, our CCWA members, the participants in our programs, and all of our partners, many of whom are also here today. This is a collective effort, and so congratulations to all of you who are here in the audience. Of course, if I had known that our governor, our two senators, and our mayor were carefully scrutinizing the work that I do, it probably would have given me a bit more pause before coming up here, but that was a really wonderful recognition, and thank you to the Rotary for facilitating that. That was truly special to see those words, and truly special to hear from you about the mission and why you chose us this year for this award, and to also connect us with our friends in Ireland who are working for women and girls empowerment. Absolutely wonderful. So thank you for all that. Want to give a special thank you to Gloria Ritter and to Burkett Gibson for hosting the entire CCWA team and our board at their tables today. It means a lot to have supporters such as yourself. And finally, I just want to tell you how grateful we are for all of you in the audience, for caring about international affairs and for wanting to be active members of our global community here in Cleveland. That's what means the most to us. So what I thought I would do today is, of course, first talk a little bit about this mission that we all share in common, which is to promote greater global understanding and to have Cleveland more connected internationally, and then give you some details about how CCWA in particular goes about accomplishing that mission in our community. And second, I thought I would also share with you why I think this work matters. And particularly why it is so important for young people in Northeast Ohio to want to engage internationally. Because sometimes, especially as a nonprofit, we are so busy trying to deliver on the mission that we forget to remind ourselves why our work makes a difference. And so today I thought it was a perfect moment to take a pause and share with you why I think our work is so vital for our community. So I brought a PowerPoint, which is up here. Thank you, Grace. And starting with a few thoughts about the council. So as has been said, the Cleveland Council on World Affairs was started in 1923, and so yes, we've passed 99 years. We almost are there in the Centennial Club with the Rotary. Please mark your calendars. 2023 next year will be our centennial, and we expect a lovely celebration. So for the past 99 years, our mission, as has been said, has been to connect Cleveland to the world and to inspire our community to want to engage with world affairs and world cultures. And I read the Rotary mission, which I will read now, and it says that it is to provide service to others, promote integrity, and advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace through our fellowship of business, professional, and community leaders. And so, as was noted before, there is a lot of alignment between our missions, specifically when it comes to that underlying goal of peace. Indeed, CCWA was founded in the post-World War I era by women peace activists who wanted to avoid the next World War by educating themselves and the Cleveland community about what's going on in the world. And the way I think about it is that it was this instinct that if we as Clevelanders, we as Americans, we are better informed about what's going on outside U.S. borders, we might come to better appreciate the way different countries operate and the way different cultures think. And with that appreciation, we might come to view them through a more positive lens than if we simply knew nothing about them. And then, maybe, we would come to choose a more cooperative approach in our relations with them. So of course, with the hindsight of 99 years, huge spoiler alert, our founding mothers obviously were very sadly not able to generate a perpetual mass global peace movement starting from here in Cleveland, Ohio. But that does not mean that their instinct was wrong. And in fact, a lot of what underpins the work of the United Nations, where I had the pleasure of serving for 8 years, is precisely this notion that dialogue between nations and dialogue between people is the only path to sustainable peace. And I could talk at length about dialogue and diplomacy and international peace. But bottom line, what I have seen is that as long as there is dialogue, the chances are still higher that the guns will remain silent. And what we're very sadly seeing today in Ukraine is a horrific example of what happens when there is no dialogue and the parties don't talk, or more specifically when President Putin chooses not to engage in dialogue. And so for me, dialogue about international issues is critical, and supporting an informed dialogue in Cleveland about world affairs is still at the heart of what the Council does today. So that is our small contribution to peace, just like the Rotary's through service and fellowship. And so on the next slide, wanted to share that obviously this mission, when stated, sounds very aspirational and very broad. And so my job and the job of my colleagues is to translate that mission into concrete programs, which we've outlined for you here in chronological order. So since the 1930s, the Council has been organizing speaker programs to explain key foreign policy issues to the Cleveland public. Our Foreign Policy Forum and our Cleveland Committee on Foreign Relations are at the heart of what we do today. Second column, since 1948, the Council has also been very involved with students, in particular through our Model UN program, which many people in Northeast Ohio are familiar with, and perhaps some of you in this room today had that experience of Model UN in high school, and that was indeed a CCWA program. We have there you go, thank you. We have the longest running Model UN program in the United States. We're very proud of it. Thank you. And the student delegates are absolutely amazing. It's a joy to see them every single time. Pre-pandemic, we were involved with close to 2,000 students across Northeast Ohio. Third area of work is our international exchanges. We've been doing those also since the late 1940s in partnership with the State Department. Pre-pandemic, we were welcoming roughly 350 visitors a year from over 80 countries. And I just want to say that these exchange programs, they are a fantastic way for Clevelanders to have a professional or cultural exchange with our international guests and to engage in what we call, what the State Department calls, people-to-people diplomacy. And in a much more macro way, this is how Cleveland fits in to U.S. foreign policy by being part of public diplomacy work here in Cleveland. And finally, our fourth and most recent area of work provides innovative global education programs for a wide range of audiences, from students to teachers to professionals to the general public. And what we really wanted to do here when we launched this program 3 years ago is to offer global education programs that are more innovative, more interactive, and that meet different audiences where they are. So for example, for teachers in the area, we offer a professional development program that gives them concrete resources to more effectively teach current affairs in their classrooms. So, excellent. Now I come to the second part of what I wanted to share with you today, which is this question of why does this work matter? Why should Cleveland engage internationally? And this is where it gets much easier for me, because I'm sure you're pretty much all going to agree with what I'm about to say, which is 3 reasons. 1, economic reasons, 2, cultural vibrancy, and 3, because of global dynamics. And so the first reason, next slide, economics. Very obvious. Many of you engage in business or in the business chambers know much more about this than I do, but sometimes it's just worth spelling out the numbers. So I have them for the state. Ohio makes, this is pre-pandemic, Ohio makes $50 billion in exports, which supports an estimated 250,000 jobs. Ohio's largest export market is Canada, followed by Mexico, China, the UK, and Japan, so a diverse set of global trade partners. And international investment from countries such as Japan, the UK, and Germany, that also supports close to 300,000 jobs in our state. And so the obvious is Cleveland is part of a competitive global economy, so engaging in international business is a growth opportunity. To take advantage of this opportunity, we need professionals in Cleveland to be excited about foreign opportunities and to feel comfortable and prepared to go global as professionals. Moreover, these are diverse trade partners, right? Canada, Mexico, Germany, Japan. So professionals in Cleveland cannot rely on English and the cultural proximity to Canada. They should be prepared to deal with a whole set of foreign business environments. So again, to sum up the obvious, why does it matter for Cleveland to engage internationally from an economic standpoint? Because this is a growth opportunity and this is about having a growth mindset. Second reason, cultural vibrancy. And the way I think about cultural vibrancy is this. Dynamic, vibrant global cities have cultures that are open and that facilitate the exchange of ideas, hence innovation and entrepreneurship. Diversity of thought is a huge driver of innovation. Now, of course, there are a lot of factors that play into what makes a city vibrant or attractive to talent, but culture and mindset is certainly one of them. Northeast Ohio needs to be a region of people who are thinking globally and who are thinking bigger. One easy way to achieve this is to be a region that welcomes foreigners and makes them feel included so that they want to stay and contribute their energies. So there are many wonderful nonprofits in Cleveland that are working on refugee and immigration issues, and they can probably tell you better than I can why inclusion, why openness to diversity of background and thought, why these are so important for our community. We need people in Northeast Ohio, particularly young people, because they're the ones shaping our culture and our mindset going forward, to be curious about the rest of the world, to embrace global diversity, and to welcome newcomers, socially, culturally, intellectually. Sadly, global migration is on a steep upward trajectory, and this global refugee crisis is indeed going to present us with some very difficult challenges. At the same time, there could also be an opportunity here for Cleveland if our community is ready to welcome and engage with new talent and newcomers. So, because of these two reasons that I just mentioned, the economic growth opportunities that global business represents, and what cultural vibrancy can do for Cleveland's global mindset, to help support all of this, 3 years ago, CCWA launched its Global Competency Training Program. And rather than listen to me talk some more about this, I thought you'd want to hear directly from some of our participants in this short video that we have.
Competency in our students and the next generation is important. We have to create an educated generation of students that are willing to take action on the current issues that are facing us today and become leaders in our globally connected world.
Developing global competency is an important skill for every individual and organization because the world is only becoming more global and therefore more competitive. Supply chains have become more global, companies have become more global, and international travel has never been higher. This is why global competence is a skill both on a personal level and on an organizational level.
The Cleveland Council on World Affairs developed the Global Competency Training to help organizations and individuals better interact with diverse partners and clients. The training provides strategies for effectively working in a global business environment, helps improve cross-cultural communication skills, and builds participant capacities to manage cultural diversity. We use a customized and multi-generational approach, working with students, young leaders, and seasoned professionals. Our program is unique in that it is grounded in an understanding of cultural norms and in self-awareness using an assessment tool.
The Gcaa Assessment is given to our freshmen when they arrive at St. Joseph's Academy. Our seniors, they retake the same assessment and we are able to compare the scores and see where they're at. So the Gcaa gives us good data, numbers, that help us inform our decisions and drive our curriculum.
I took the Global Competency Assessment tool, and my aha was, I'm not so culturally aware as I thought I was. So it's kind of a good rude awakening to say it's a lifelong mission. You don't just get it. You're just always learning and developing. We can always be more open. We can always understand cultures better. And it's really opened my eyes to how I can be more, not just globally competent, but diverse and inclusive, which is really important. It's all connected to me.
The CCWA's Global Competency Training has impacted my work through having more effective communication with our global clients, especially in this virtual environment.
The Cleveland Council on World Affairs is a pillar to this community. They seek to support education and live out their mission, and without their support, I couldn't do what I do today.
And I think the CCWA is a wonderful organization. I personally benefited from it, and my students have it at the school. The global competency has really raised the level where it's an actual tool that can actually apply a mindset that you can take that and set your own personal path on how you're going to be a more globally competent person.
Having been a seasoned veteran in international business for a while, I think that there's always something that we can learn that we don't know today. So whether you're new to international affairs or you've been in it for a long time, this training has something for you.
It brings up the presentation a little bit. So back to what I was mentioning about the 3 reasons why I think Cleveland needs to engage internationally. My last one, obvious with the visuals, is because of global dynamics. And so, right, headlining all of our media today, geopolitics are back with a vengeance, and the impact of climate change is getting more dramatic by the day. So this affects all of us, everywhere, every day. And the United States plays a leadership role on all of these global issues. So what American voters understand about these challenges and what kinds of mandates we give our government, this has an outsized impact on the future trajectory of all of us as a global community. And so for me, having worked at the United Nations and having watched these global dynamics, it matters greatly that American citizens and that my fellow Clevelanders be internationally aware. Because of this outsized impact of the United States on world affairs, I think Americans have an obligation to try to understand these issues to the best of our abilities and to act on them also to the best of our abilities. And I think that's very much what the Rotary mission is getting at as well. Advancing world understanding, goodwill, and peace. And so, sincerely, this is why I am so passionate about the work that I get to do every day with my colleagues, because I want to help grow a region here of global citizens. People who are engaged as professionals internationally, who have a global mindset culturally, and who care, and who want to help think about solutions to help shape a more peaceful and sustainable collective future for all of us. This is what it's all about. And so, of course, as you can tell from these images, we have, CCWA as an organization has dedicated a lot of energy to attracting the next generation, because they're going to have to deal with these challenges, and we want them to engage with the maximum amount of information about what these challenges really are, what the consequences are, and how they can be better prepared to manage them in a more global, cooperative manner. So CCWA has spent a lot of time over the past couple of years looking at how to involve young professionals, and we've done so organizationally. This is our new Young Professionals Advisory Committee. It's a two-way street. The committee members provide us with advice on the kinds of programs that young people would find appealing, and in exchange we provide them with professional development opportunities along the way, for example with interactions with our board. So this is how CCWA is ensuring that the voices of young people, young professionals are heard within our organization. Second, we've also created new ways for young professionals to engage in our existing programming, including our good old-fashioned speaker programs. So 2 years ago, we launched the Pogue Fellowship, which is basically a free one-year membership in our Cleveland Committee on Foreign Relations. This committee is our members-only dinner and dialogue series, and in May, it will be concluding its 83rd season. So we are involving young people in a program that started in the 1930s. I mean, talk about continuity. It's really remarkable. And then finally, during the pandemic, we created a brand new program entirely tailored to young professionals. It's called LEADS, which stands for Leadership, Exchange, and Diplomacy Scholars. LEADS is built on a couple of key areas where CCWA already has core expertise, such as our global competency work, which you heard all about, our international exchange work, our foreign affairs knowledge, and we added leadership development to give young professionals in Cleveland basic building blocks to develop into globally competent professionals. And what's really neat about this program is that it was actually the brainchild of the young professionals at CCWA who took the opportunity of the pandemic to imagine, well, if I were to do a professional development program, what would that look like? How would it be a global professional development program? And they created LEADS. So with that, to kind of sum up CCWA in a nutshell, since our founding almost a century ago, we have been and continue to be today an organization dedicated to peace, international understanding, and global education in Cleveland. Looking ahead to our next century, we are actively working to engage the next generation and nurture their global mindset, because this will have a direct impact on the future growth, vibrancy, and relevance of Cleveland. And finally, we could not do our work without the support, partnership, collaboration, and friendship of all of you who also believe in a more global, connected future for Cleveland. So thank you to all the organizers. Thank you to the Rotary for this wonderful award. We are deeply, deeply honored. And as the closing thought, a special treat, I'd like to leave you with a video from a former colleague of mine, Stéphane Dujardin, who's the UN spokesperson. And this is the message he sent to our Model UN students this past fall. Enjoy.
My name is Stéphane Dujardin, and I'm the spokesman for United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres. I want to personally welcome you to the Cleveland Council on World Affairs Model UN. Just recently, I was in Cleveland, where I had the privilege to interact with a number of high school students from the area. Perhaps some of you are in the room today, and I can tell you that I was very impressed by the students' knowledge, their curiosity, and their understanding of world affairs. More specifically, their understanding on how the larger world can quickly impact our local communities. I often have the opportunity to speak with Model UN students, and I'm just sorry that today it can only be a one-way conversation. And what I've learned from my conversations with Model UNers over the years is that your participation in these conferences is just another manifestation of your dedication towards making the world better for all of us. And for us here at the United Nations, part of making a better world is learning about the United Nations and how it relates to your local communities. In our interconnected world, what happens in Kabul can impact life in Cleveland, and what happens in Cleveland can impact what happens in Kinshasa. Our interconnected world requires us to show solidarity with our community, whether it's global or local. By being active in combating the impacts of climate change along the shores of Lake Erie, you can make the world a better place. By opening the doors of your communities to Afghan refugees or any other groups fleeing violence, you help make the world a better place. By ensuring that your communities are vaccinated against COVID to protect the most vulnerable, you help make the world a better place. Learning how to transform global United Nations concepts of human rights, peace and security, and development is critical to making the world a better place. Use this conference to increase your knowledge of international affairs, as well as the importance of global cooperation to solve critical problems that don't recognize national borders, COVID and climate, to name just two. Most important, use this conference to learn how to listen to others, understand their point of view, and what motivates them. As someone whose job it is to speak, believe me when I tell you the most important skill you need to develop is your ability to listen. Thank you for your dedication to the ideals that we all share, and have fun.
Thank you, Carina, for accepting your award on behalf of the Cleveland Council of World Affairs and for sharing your message with us today. On behalf of all our members of Cleveland, Ohio, and all international citizens, we are very grateful for all your work and leadership in helping the Cleveland Council share in our joint mission to promote peace throughout mutual understanding. I have a few things as a token of our appreciation. There is a piece of art here, too. Let's use this. There is a piece of art, it's a limited edition word-inspired design print called The Edge, and it was made in collaboration with two of our Rotary called the Cleveland Rotarians, Gloria Ritter, artist, and poet Zachary Hume. So the world-inspired design will show all the different missions that we completed as a club.